One more another video on the Inside Spurs channel. I'm Andy, your host, and in this video, we're talking about updates on Sandro Tonali's potential move to Tottenham. We're going to be talking about Spurs' interest in West Ham's Mateus Fernandes, and we're also going to be talking about Brighton's third rejected bid for Luka Vuskovic. We're going to talk about it all in due course. Let me start though with Tonali flavoured news because it hasn't. I think we all wish it was obviously, a lot further on, but we've got a couple of updates that Spurs have agreed a long-term contract with Tonali, which includes a massive signing-on bonus and a massive increase to his wages at Newcastle. Spurs insist they're not worried about other clubs' involvement and are cautiously optimistic. Now, I also see, that was from Poseidon, sorry. I also saw that Fabrizio Romano says the deal is on and Spurs are confident. So, again, it's moving. It might not be moving as quickly as some people would like it to be, but these things can't be rushed, okay? These things cannot be rushed, and they are moving. It's progressing. Spurs are the front runners in this deal. So, just don't muck it up, really, is all I can say. But again, what's very interesting is how this deal ties with Fernandez. And I think a lot of us would have sat there and gone, signing Tonali or signing Fernandez stops Spurs signing the other one. Not the case, apparently. Because Rich Romano talking about Fernandez, which coincides with Tonali, saying that Spurs are still in contact. The deal is on for Tonali. In a separate deal, Spurs are in direct talks with the agents of Mateus Fernandez. They are pushing aggressively financially. And David Ornstein has been, I think, one of the first guys to talk about the Fernandez situation. Now, supposedly, there's a couple of things to add to the Tonali-Fernandez situation. It clearly shows that we've gone from, let's build up the defence. Cool. Got Senesi, got Van Hecke, we've got Robertson coming in. Happy days. Move into the midfield. Right. Basuma's gone. Paulinho's not. Looks like it's not going to come back. What's going to happen with Bergvall? There is interest from Chelsea and Aston Villa and Lucas Bergvall. What happens there? Okay. Obviously Simmons is gone for pretty much the whole season. Spurs need bodies, right? Bentancur's come back. But clearly, they are going bit by bit up the field on attacking the areas because I think a lot of people sit there and go, the attack's weak, the attack's weak, the attack's weak. The attack can only be as strong as the rest of the team because if you've got, let's say, 3 great attackers, but you can't get guys to pass the ball up the field to them, then it's a waste of time. It's an absolute waste of time. And it's really worrying when people go, the attack's rubbish, and they don't talk about the rest of the team. It's very worrying. You need players that can look up and pass forward, right? You do. Or you need to be able to get a midfielder that can beat a man and spring an attack. It's what makes Moussa Dembele, super exciting. It's what made Tanguy and Ndombele super exciting. And Spurs really haven't had enough of that. That's why when Maddison came back, it was like, thank God we've got an attacking midfielder again when Simmons got injured. So clearly, they are trying to work on building out bit by bit, strengthening up bit by bit through the team into the attack. Make the team brilliant and then feed the attack. Okay? So there we go. Now on Fernandez and Tonali, Fernandez, I saw some rumoured reports on the deal's about 70 to 80 million pounds, right? But I also saw reports that Manchester United supposedly are having, and this is supposed, I don't know if it's full on true, but supposedly Manchester United are also having some financial cash flow issues. Not financial that they've got no money, but the issue, what I'm saying is they want to spend money on players to bring in, but they also still need to spend money on players that they've already brought in. That's why I think, as much as Casemiro is good for them, they were probably quite happy to move on from a Casemiro because purely on the fact that he's on 400 grand a week, it's a lot of money that you save over the year. Now, that's why they probably also are thrilled that Sancho's now gone. They're thrilled that well, they're probably unhappy that Rashford's come back, to be honest. They probably want to move him on, which will help their financial fair play situation as well, with any money that they receive. So again, with like Tonali, with like Fernandez, if you are someone that truly wants him, and you are, keen to get him, make those moves, get at it, get quickly on it, okay? Moving into the end bit, by the way, on Fernandez, really talented player in my opinion. I forgot to add, really talented player. Yes, look, Spurs and West Ham, no good last year. There is a really exciting player. That's why a lot of top teams are after him, okay? Fair play West Ham getting that kind of money in the Championship, by the way. Anyway, moving on to that last bit. So, Fabrizio Romano last night put out an exclusive saying that Brighton has submitted a new official bid to sign Luka Vuskovic. Understand the proposal is worth a £45 million package with add-ons included. Spurs decide soon on the Croatian centre-back after 2 bids already rejected. It has been reported that the bid has been rejected. Spurs are holding out for much more than that. But it's also saying that Vuskovic is wanting to potentially throw in a transfer request to make the move happen. Hasn't played a senior professional game for the club, yet is demanding all this. He's a literal teenager. I think he's getting some really bad advice from agents and things like that. I think he's getting horrific advice. And advice that could really, really damage him. I think Spurs should be holding out for well above 50. Probably closer to 60, a sell-on clause, and I think even a buyback clause. Throw it all in. Make it the full works. Why not? And again, people targeting Vuskovic for England, and it's like, yeah, but he's playing against the world's best striker. A lot of defenders do struggle with Harry Kane. Let's not kill him for it. I never did. I didn't sit there and go, Vuskovic is crap. I just sat there and went, Harry Kane's actually really effing amazing. So, let's see on Vuskovic. I think Spurs are holding out for above 50 easily. And also, I think Spurs don't make any deal until the World Cup. At least his journey in the World Cup is done. His value's probably only going to go up. Croatia play Panama next, right? We play Ghana on Tuesday night. They play Panama next. Let's say they win 2-0. He has a really good, solid game. Maybe even he scores a goal. There you go. There's a few million just whacked onto the transfer value straight away. World stage. Clean sheet, scoring a goal maybe even from a corner. It's Vuskovic after all, you wouldn't be surprised. So look, on him, I think keep rejecting it. Not bowing into some 18-year-old or not, how old he is, I don't even care anymore. Not bowing down to someone's demands that hasn't even played a game for this club. It's irrelevant to me. Just to add on Fernandez, Spurs are in talks with his agents. And Spurs are pushing aggressively. Sorry, I forgot to add that's on me. Apologies for that. Let me know your thoughts down below on Tonali, Fernandez and Vuskovic. And I'll speak to you all soon. Take care. Peace.